So a lot of my friends have been asking me about cold plunging. Last year, every day in February, I did a cold plunge, and I really came to love it. At first, it's a little uncomfortable, but no, it isn't something that you have to do every single day or to extreme in order for it to be fun. I just set up a very simple feed trough, which is about 150 gallons. I use a little bit of Epsom salts and it's about a 30-pound bag of Epsom salts and hydrogen peroxide just to keep it clean and fresh. The Epsom salts make it a little bit fluffy. Also brings the temperature down because I like it really cold. Just so you know, though, the minimum effective dose is around 50 degrees, so you don't have to go super cold. It's about 11 minutes per week. So you don't want to be a hero and go for really long stretches because then you can start to get into hypothermia. So being a tough guy doesn't actually help in this situation. You want to go, for me, I think my minimum effective dose is around 3 minutes, but around 2 minutes. The first 30 seconds are always really hard because your body's fighting to get out, but then you're good to go and you're going to feel amazing afterwards. All right, so these are my favorite conditions for cold plunging. It's about 32 degrees. We got some snow coming down. I just got my new Red One parka, which I'm super digging. I actually went to ChatGPT to find something good, and ChatGPT suggested this. I picked this one because it's for the cold. There are some that are better insulators, but this is a swim parka. I first made the mistake of using just using a fluffy towel, which I really liked, but then you get kind of wet and soggy. So just a word of the wise: you want to wear some flippers or some flip flops or some water socks. I don't like the water socks because when you get out, your feet are cold and they're staying cold. And after you get out of the plunge, you want to get dry. Staying cold and wet super sucks. You'll get the after drop where your body temperature drops. It pulls all your blood in to your core, and then you get this amazing feeling of well-being afterwards. Right, so this is a cold plunge, about 32 degrees. Just got my Red One parka, super excited about that. I love the plunge in the snow. I love the feeling that goes along with it. We're gonna go for about 3 minutes, which is about a good minimum effective dose. You're always gonna be a little bit panicky when you first get in. It is definitely cold. I like to use some Epsom salts. And hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide to keep it nice and clean. Once you get through the first 30 seconds, your heart rate will calm down. The adrenaline will calm down. You get noradrenaline, dopamine, and you get this wonderful sense of well-being. What I love about plunging in the winter, I did every day last year in February, is it brings you close to nature. In the winter here in the Northeast, you start to get shut in, and it takes you away from the stillness and the calm outside. And this brings you a lot closer. What you also find is when you're cold plunging, after you start to do it, one, metabolism creeps up. You get a little bit less afraid of the cold in general. And so you start spending more time outside just in general. And then you just feel better. You get a higher baseline dopamine all the time. So it's a great thing to do, especially if you have seasonal affective disorder or you're a little bit, you tend to get a little bit down during this time. It's really good for depression. Most of this was made famous by Wim Hof, whose wife committed suicide, and Wim felt drawn to the cold. And in that kind of exploration of going into the water, found some peace in trying to sort out that really, really traumatic thing that happened to him. So cold plunging seemed to be a little bit of a fad for a while, but it is part of I think a healthy regimen for your well-being and for your mental health. Also has cold shock proteins, which are alleged to help you with DNA repair. I'm really blessed. I got a great coach. Shout out to Justin Rothling chauffeur, because Justin, while he's Canadian, does only go to about a little bit below 50 degrees. He doesn't like the cold as much as I do. But that is the temperature threshold that you're looking for when you're cold plunging to get that cold shock response. So you don't have to go super cold. You don't want to go long either on your cold plunges. Your first minute, you want to get through that because that's where you start to feel the effects. Minimum effective dose, about 11 minutes per week. I shoot for 3 minutes, 4 days a week. As I said last February, I just did every day, although you can get cold adapted. I found I still really liked it, and I felt better afterwards.
After you plunge, you're going to want to dry off as quick as possible. So get inside, use that swim parka, get yourself to a place where you can get dry, and then get into something warm. Don't heat yourself up externally. You want to stay, let the body heat itself up naturally. Then you're going to see this, you'll have this after drop where you get really cold for a few minutes, and then the body is going to heat up, and then you're going to feel amazing. It's one of the best little simple modalities that are out there. Give it a try. It's a lot of fun, and it can actually make you feel really, really